Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Just Keep Swimming podcast. This is your host, Mr. Adrian Jackson, and we're in the studio again for another great episode with you. And you already know who I got with me, the co-host, Mr.
1-3, ready to show the team what we mean through our lights and air beams, cause we DBZ in the studio.
Yo-Yo.
Yo.
I feel you, bro. Let's get it, bro. So, bro, man, you know, it's another special occasion for me, for sure. I don't know how you feel about it, but recap part 2.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We had another 5 episodes just finished, and I'm going to say I'm proud of us again. Every episode was fire. You know, everybody brought something great to the table. Every interview was really interactive, really engaging. You know what I'm saying? I feel like every interview I learned something, you know? So, you know, I just want to clap for us, you know what I'm saying? For making another 5 episodes, man. I'm proud of us, man. I'm really proud of us, bro. And I appreciate you for rocking with me still.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like, look, we supposed to start a few hours ago. We've been sitting here tired, but hey, we still rolling. We still got it going, and we about to get it popping right now, bro.
Yes, sir. We got to keep moving. Keep swimming. The consistency has been pretty good, and that's what's been keeping me going for sure. So.
Right, exactly. Yeah. You know, and just the thought of it, the energy of it, man. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. So, the last 5 episodes, bro, we had some great guests, and we had 5 more topics. So I just want to do, you know, a recap again on pretty much who we had in the building, what we talked about with them, and then, you know, just, you know, give a little elaboration on what you learned from them, what really stood out from you, you know, whatever you feel like talking about from that subject, you know what I'm saying? So our 5 topics we had was creative thinking with Mr. Trevion McKenzie. We have teamwork and marriage with the parents, of course. We had a willful encouragement with my boy, Mr. William Johnson.
Right.
We had perseverance through adversity, Mr. B. Marsh, Mr. Super Bowl himself. And then we had spiritual energy with Mr. Tara Jones.
Yes.
And that was magical, of course. So let's just go ahead and start at the top, which creative thinking with Mr. Trevion McKenzie. So when we was talking with Trev, we really used his aspect of being a studio engineer and try to figure out how we, you know, how creativity works with him.
Right.
And one thing that really stood out for me was the idea of being present.
Yes.
You know, and he really uses the ability to be present in the moment to find the inspiration that he needs to, you know, make stuff happen or come up with new beats or come up with new ideas for music. You know?
Right.
And I really enjoy that. You know, how do you feel about that?
Just from the perspective of also being within like the music industry, because as well as he produces, I produce, and like him talking about like being within the moment, especially since you're not aged, you're just fully involved in experiencing whatever's going on around you.
Right.
So, you know, for sure that helped me recently, just like becoming more aware of being aware in those situations. And I mean, I showed you the last 2 beats that I had, and they're pretty gas.
Yes, fire. No, you know what? And I saw the be in the moment happen a few minutes ago. You know, just while we was setting up, I threw on the classical, and you was like, "Yo, stop!
Yeah,
don't change this song. Let this play." And I was like, "Okay, well, look, that must have sparked something for him just now, and I'm gonna let this ride. Then I'm not gonna mess up your moment."
Especially coming from like a classical, like a orchestral background, but something about the melody and the notes of being, or the baroque area that was being played, just kind of woke me up and tuned me into being in that moment.
Right.
So, you know, yeah, that's why I was like, yo, keep it on, because at least for me, this is helping me be like coming back to be present. Yeah.
Right. So. And exactly, and you got you warmed up, ready to go right now for today's episode.
Right.
You know, no, I fully feel you on that one, bro. And then, so I guess from Triv episode, what did you pull out the most then? Like, what was one of the things you really pulled out from it?
I'm not gonna lie, his, you know, probably getting a little ahead of ourselves, but like his ending quote, the 4 agreements.
Yes, amazing quote. Yes.
Because I think a couple days after that, I think I listened to the audiobook, and that one just kind of shifted my perspective on how to view everything, and been making life a little bit easier to traverse, but also know that like if I'm really doing my best in these certain areas, then I'm gonna get somewhere, even though it may not be okay with everybody else in a sense, but this is what I want to do. I'm gonna do my best to get to it, but I'm not gonna take whatever they say personally, you know, et cetera, et cetera.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, and I you know, I always love the 4 agreements. You know, the 4 agreements are: be impeccable with your word, always do your best, never make assumptions, and never take things personally. You know.
Yes.
And, you know, I always love the 4 agreements. You know, me, I got it written on the board, it's hanging on my wall in my room.
Right.
Because I like to wake up and just read it and make sure I try to, you know, go through it, you know, and I always try to run the 4 agreements through things that I'm going through in life, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, recently with work, I've been having little situations, and my thing is, I'm trying not to take it personal. You know what I'm saying? I'm just listening to my energy and see how I should flow, pretty much, you know?
Right.
And I'm being present in the situation and seeing what's going on, so.
Right.
Yeah, no, I really loved it, man. And that creative thinking, it was just, I just really liked how Triv came across with it, you know? It really went in a different direction I thought it would, but the way that he presented it was amazing.
Especially just using he explained it in several different facets that just allowed a greater understanding, even coming from people that haven't dealt with music or haven't, you know, researched the frequencies or just like thought on his plane of existence, but just to understand where he was going with it in terms of being creative and creating something in the first place.
Right, exactly. And then I just liked about it too was, you know, how Triv's episode related to and Tara's episode at the end of the season.
For sure.
It's like we came full circle low key because she really went big on how big energy is. And of course we'll talk about a little bit of that later, but you know, it was just cool how both of those connected. You know, like they really connected on the same level. They said the same thing, just in different terms from different perspectives. You know? And I really enjoyed that. So energy is real, people. Make sure you are aware of your energy.
Vibe check.
Yes, vibe check, for real, for real. So then our next topic was teamwork with, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Jackson.
The OGs.
Parents, the OGs, the originals. You know, salute you guys. Of course, love y'all. Appreciate y'all for doing this for us.
Thank you.
Yes. So for them, we talked about teamwork and how teamwork really relates into a marriage, you know? And from them, I really liked, what I liked about it was the growth that you saw. Like, they realized their growth definitely was making their team work, you know? They talked about the things that they had to check themselves on. Like, I remember Mom was saying that she had to push back from work. You know, and learn to, okay, I need to start being at home more, being in the home life a little more, you know, but then at the same time, Dad came to the point of, okay, I need to learn how to present myself better and come at somebody correctly a different way. You know, I can't just get, you know, Mad Max mode, you know, I have to learn to just come in a better way, and that really blew my mind, you know.
And honestly, like, to wrap all of that up in, like, kind of one lump sum was, like, the communication. Effective communication is really what makes it, because it's like, you know, talking through them through that, and then also being with them as we grew up.
Exactly.
2 different type of people.
Yes, way too different. A whole different couple. Different couple.
And all the things that they went through, but honestly, one of the, or at least from what I kind of taken from that podcast episode, was just like, communication is really what makes or breaks it. If you can communicate effectively to at least understand both of each other and then come to a compromise about something, then everything can work out, honestly.
Right, exactly. And that's what it is, that communication factor. Like, you know, one of their examples was going out. You know, Dad was like, I don't want to go out and meet new people all the time. You know, I want you at the house. And then, you know, he probably had to, at first he was probably communicating like, I don't want to meet nobody, I'm good. But then once he communicated to, you know, I feel that I don't need to do this and that, and, you know, why and whatever, you know, Vanjie probably saw the other side and was like, you know what, you are right. Let's both chill at the house and watch a movie tonight instead. You know, I'd rather do that. And, you know, that part made her feel like, I don't have to force us out the house or force us to go do something and try to be around other people, you know. We can actually just hang by ourselves and learn more about each other, you know.
And then they're still both individuals too.
Individuals.
Mom will go out, or even more so now, like, Dad will just go out, and then I'll see Mom at home just chilling, and then he'll come home later. So you know, both growing and kind of becoming like a little bit more even on what they like to do, and then also them participating in each other's, like, what they want to do. You know?
Exactly. It's like you see that they're learning more about themselves, and them learning more about themselves really translate back to the marriage and makes them, you know, a stronger couple.
Exactly.
You know, a stronger partnership. You know?
Another thing that really got me too was like, I think we asked something about, you know, something getting to that level in the first place, and then I think Dad said, only if you want to.
Yeah, you have to do it, you know, and that leads me right to what their quote was I gave it for them, of course. But, their quote was, nobody's gonna do it for you. You gotta do it yourself. You know, just knock it out right now. And, you know, and that speaks volume. You know, like if you want to make the relationship work, it's not just gonna magically happen. Or you know, even Vanjie correlated that a little bit with herself. You know, saying to the point of, you know, he can't make me happy. I have to make myself happy, and then that will make us happier. You know, so yeah, you have to do it yourself. You know, and that correlates actually to Will's episode too. You know, because Will's episode, he talked about how, you know, he started to see what he wanted to do, and it's like, man, let me just go ahead and just do it then. Let me just, these people want me to work out? Fine, then let me go work them out, you know, but I can't make you work out. You know, I'm not your partner, I'm not going to be your, you know, whatever it is, you know, I can't make you work out. You have to be willing to do it yourself. You know, I can walk you through it, but you want to do it yourself.
And then also kind of going to like him even starting his profession in the first place. He just, and one of the best teachers is experience. And then to go further is evaluated experience, of course. But like, in order to even get to that level to begin with, you still have to create some sort of action in the first place.
Exactly. No, amen to that for sure. Like you can't gain experience if you don't make experience.
100%.
No, that makes sense. That makes 100%. So then that actually just leads to Will's episode then, which was willful encouragement. And we talked about, you know, Will's techniques for being a coach and everything. And, you know, to encouraging other people. And I think one thing I really liked about that one was his ability to just be himself during all this stuff. You know, like, yes, he was a little high-headed sometimes with the kids, or, you know, he probably said some things he wish he could have took back when he said them. But then, you know, he got to the point of, he built that communication with the kid to, yo, understand this is how I get when I'm in this situation. It's nothing personal to you. We're playing this game. Helmets on, loud, I'm emotional. I'm sorry right now for what I might say in the future. But, you know, he was being himself, and being himself, people respected that. You know, and that's what I really enjoyed about his episode.
And it's kind of like indirect in a sense, but you know, him telling his stories about like football and then the coaching and stuff like that, it kind of like ignited like a strong will in my heart, because it was just like going through the story, and then also kind of just being reminded of the mentality of football and then sports in general. It's just like, yo, like, we're really out here right now. We gotta go do what we gotta do. You know, everybody may be yelling and upset, but we're all trying to go towards the same goal. You know, and that wouldn't happen unless the connection was made between the coach or even between the teammates in general. So, you know, it just pushed me a little bit more to get where I want to go. So
no, that makes perfect sense. You know, like you said, we are emotional and stuff, but we're fighting toward the same goal. And you know, during that time, you know, we're all gonna go through different feelings because we're all still individuals. But that's when you have to learn to accept the other person for who they are. You know, and that's kind of like going back in the Terry episode, where she talked about, we accept the cactus for being a cactus, or TV for TV, but I can't accept the person for being a person. You know. Like, that's pretty deep. You know, that's really deep. You know, because you have to. A lot of my coaches, I probably didn't like him, but I had to accept the coach for who he was, and then once I accept for who he is, he turned out he was a great coach when I listened to him.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? If I actually listen to him.
You got to give him the chance.
Yes. You got to give the opportunity. You got to give the opportunity for sure. And then Will's quote from that episode was, someone can't do everything, but everyone can do something.
And I feel, I've been thinking about that since we wrote it down too. It kind of takes away, that quote right there creates the idea and the energy for communion in the first place. And it's like, it strips away the pride that some people may have in order to collaborate in a way that they can to help everybody as a whole. And it creates something a lot more beautiful and a lot less stress if you have other people with you doing something at least, instead of you trying to carry the burden by yourself.
Exactly. No, I do feel you on that one. Like the idea that you have to split up the load for sure. And then, like you said, everybody carries a little percent of this big old tower. We can all carry this bad boy pretty easy. You know, it's kind of like, I don't know if you don't remember wrestling. Did you guys have to carry out the mats?
Oh yes.
So you ever push that mat by itself, bro? That mat is so heavy you can't even move it.
Ridiculous.
But then you get one person on this side, every 2 people, about 10 people, y'all can lock arms, throw the mat on your shoulder, and y'all just walking into the gym like it's nothing. You don't even feel the weight.
When I was going through wrestling too, like every time for intramurals, man, it was tough, but that was like some true teamwork, even more so from the mats for me, because it was like we had to go pick up those huge big tires, like
flip them.
No, well that too, but like after we flipped them and everything, he made us pick it up and hold it above our heads as like a 4, 5, 6 person group.
Oh wow!
And we had to walk around the school.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and man, those things used to be heavy, and then you feel the weight tipping off at one end, and we're yelling at them like, "Yo, do not give up right now! Like this is we need to go
right now." It's that teamwork though, bro.
Yeah,
it's that emotional teamwork. I mean, I ain't mad at you, bro, but I need you to hold your load right now,
right?
Because we gotta make this goal. We gotta make this goal. We gotta push.
And if you give your best, it may not be like as strong as everybody else, but as long as everybody's giving their 100%, it's gonna go by a lot easier.
Exactly. So I think I got something this quote, it hit me, but then I seen another way as well. So like the way I seen it is the idea of you can start from where you're at right now. You don't have to wait until you have everything to make a difference. You can just start from where you're at right now, do something to impact somebody and make them different.
Right.
For example, for Will, he was doing the mom's workouts. Started exactly where it was in his garage with some people that he knew around his block.
Right.
Started exactly where it was, and that got him to let me get my actual personal license, and now I can do this, that, and the third.
Right.
I don't know if he was charging or whatever, but he started what he was. He started learning those traits and getting that experience. So now he's ready to go to a good gym because he's been doing this.
Right.
He's already gonna have that flow going. And yeah, I love it. Definitely me. I do tutoring. I don't tutor a lot of kids. I'm just starting where I'm at right now.
And shoot, when I was recording my homie for the rap over my beat and another beat, he came in. He was like, yeah, I was just recently just watching some rap music documentaries off Netflix, and yeah, exactly how everybody else started like this in somebody's room with just a mic, rig some things to make it a little bit more comfortable, and then just go in.
Exactly. You see us right now, you know what I'm saying? We got some microphones, got the thing, got the dinner trays that we got the mic sitting on, and boom, we rolling, you know what I'm saying? And right now we on episode 12, you know what I'm saying?
For real.
We on recap 2, I'm gonna say that like that. We on recap 2. But yeah, so it's like started where you are, I ain't gotta try to do it epic. I don't need a whole studio and stuff. I can start where I'm at right now.
Right.
So I love it. So let's get back into our 4th episode of this season, episode 9, which was Mr. Brandon Marshall on the topic of perseverance through adversity. And I just gotta say, B killed this bad boy. You know what I'm saying? I did not expect him to come with that ferocity. You know what I'm saying? I was nervous to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? Like we had to take a shot to relax or whatnot. But then after that, it was like, yo, we is rolling and he is killing it right now.
The atmosphere at his place too was like perfect for it too. That was just a beautiful experience.
Yeah, I love it. So my favorite thing about Brandon's episode was, it was low-key at the beginning, the talk about pride, like the idea of how pride was working both ways for him. Pride got him to the NFL because in his high school, he walked on the field with that pride of, I'm going to the NFL, day one starts here.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, pride bit him in the butt when he went and talked to the coach the way he did, or at the time that he did. And I just like the ability, I just like how pride and ego, same words, same thing, but they just, that's crazy. That's crazy how they go both ways. You gotta have it in balance. You gotta know when having a balance, when to let it loose, and when to pull it back.
Because you don't want to get walked over on, but you don't want to, scrutinize other people as well, just because of how self-absorbed you are, or how you're feeling, or how self-absorbed your feelings are at the moment.
Exactly.
You still got to take that step back, but still got to take action because this is something you want in the first place.
No, and that's real cool, and that's like me personally. I like to try to when I feel myself getting prideful, I like to take a step back and like, am I truly have the right to feel this way? To come back do come back with rebuttal, or should I really? Is this a time for me to bite my tongue and not try to break the walls? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, that's one thing about Pride that really got me. And then another thing from his episode was his visioning. You know, the way that the visioning worked, like I think that was a whole crazy little roller coaster right there.
And you can tell with the glow. It's like it's different from when people find that vision and then they finally do it. It's like they're on a whole different level in terms of like, I guess their self-confidence in terms of like, okay, I did this, I saw this, I did it. Now, what else can I do?
Where can I go now?
Yeah,
exactly. And that's what I liked about it. Like, you know, he had the vision go to the NFL, and then, you know, he saw the vision when he was a kid. You know what I'm saying? And it came true for him. And then now that the vision's come true, he's trying to vision his next step. You know, see where he sees himself going. He always saw himself with kids, and now he's working with kids. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So his visions are coming true, and then now he's still visioning to the next step, though, to the next step, to the next step.
Right.
You know, and you gotta constantly keep that in your mind of where you're going, your goals. You know, you gotta be able to see them as well. You know, you can't just write them down. You gotta be able to see your goal. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Intention setting too. Kind of side note, but you remember the little paper you kind of told me about that you keep on you on all times?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually wrote one for myself too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and that one's been. I feel it just hitting me every now and then and keeping me more focused.
Yes, no, bro, and that's real. You know, like just going back to like I said, the attention is like the idea. You keep your goal in front of you, and you always remind yourself of the goal. You start to go back to trips, let the vibrations go into the universe, and the vibrations go and attract what you need to come towards you.
Right.
You know, and like you said, it all goes together. You know, it all goes together, man. So yeah, man, I loved it, man. I really loved it. Anything from Brandon's episode that really stood out to you?
I would say like, cause basically it's like that whole thing was just the message in general, you know.
Yeah, you know what really stood out from Brandon's episode for me was what we didn't record that day.
Yes.
So you know we both had trouble at work that day. I locked my keys in the house, so then you had to drive all the way over there and go get them. And then we got to Brandon's house. We didn't have no power cord. Somehow he luckily had one in the back drawer in the closet under the shelf behind the old, you know, college shirts. Like somehow he had a power cord out of nowhere.
Right.
I don't think we had the music playing majority of the time.
We did. It was just in the back, but then it got a little too loud at the end from the recording, but it didn't end up mattering. When I edited. So
it worked out perfect.
Yeah, everything worked out perfect.
Right, and that's what I loved about it, how we persevered through that whole day. You know, like he used, his definition was perseverance through the continuous course of action. Perseverance is the continuous course of action in spite of difficulties.
Yes.
And we had to do that. We had to practice that. And that's what made that episode, I guess, magical for me.
Yeah.
Was the idea we had so much stuff go wrong, and we still made a fire episode, I felt.
Right.
You know, so that was amazing to me. And his quote was, "It only takes one to believe in your dream for it to come true."
And all that is you, if you want it to be.
Yes. You don't need everybody to believe in your dream. Everybody don't have to agree with what you think, what you see, what you say you're gonna do. You know?
Right.
All you need is you to believe, man. Yeah, that right there is simple and magical in just those few words, you know? So I love that, man. I love that one. So for our last one, we had Miss Tara Jones on the topic of spiritual energy.
This one, just to start off, like, you know, I always say I kind of wanted to do like a part 2 to my episode. That was technically the part 2 in terms of like explaining, like the way she explained things was how I came up with the things and why I do things in my episode.
Right.
So it was just very interesting to go into just the thought process and the realizations of spirituality and, you know, at its basis form, you know.
Right, exactly. Definitely, like I said, from another perspective. It's my thought from another perspective, and it's kind of mind-blowing when it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know, she just explained a lot of questions that I was asking myself, you know. She just gave me some answers just now.
Right.
So
well, I would say, like, what did you like most from it?
From a Tara's episode, I really enjoyed the I just have to say, her conversation about energy and, the breath, because, like, I feel like I've been practicing that recently. Like, I've been trying to practice being, more present, actually, like, show myself more and actually communicating better and stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel, after an episode, I've been practicing, okay, let me try to take a deep breath, breathe for 5 seconds, next time 7, next time 9, next time 11. Until I feel myself calm down, And I feel that it's been helping me control my vibration a lot better, and I've been walking into situations a lot better than I normally do if I was to get, into my demon mode or something like that.
Right.
So yeah, I really enjoyed, her conversation about energy, and I just felt that she was connecting so many dots, like you said, in different directions than I was thinking of.
Yeah,
exactly.
She bounced a lot, but it still like answered the question or made sense in terms of like the conversation. I was gonna say the cactus. Going back to that cactus quote though, is like. Man, dude, that thing went everywhere. It was just like, if you're gonna look at something and accept it for what it is, then you gotta kind of, man. I'm gonna just scrap that one because I can't even put that into words, to be real.
Right.
Because it's just accepting it for what it is, but also understanding that you have the power to find your own way and make things happen. But it's like not intruding into other energy fields in general.
As well.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, that makes sense. You can be you and be who you are. And if you be who you are, the world's going to accept you the way you are. If that makes sense, Like, I think one of my favorite things that people say is, you want to talk to your child or your mom like that, but you talk to yourself like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, why do you do that? Why do you treat things differently? Why do you treat things that you should treat the same, you treat different.
Right.
And you shouldn't do that, the double-edged sword or the double standard. Sorry.
Double standard, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
against yourself, and that's the crazy part because I don't think many people realize that.
Yeah. Exactly. No, you talk bad about yourself all the time. You call yourself stupid and stuff, and it's like, you don't call other people stupid, but you call yourself stupid. Or why do you do that? Or why do you forgive other people, but you can't forgive yourself? Why can't you do that?
Right.
Why can't you do that? That really blew my mind, man. That really blew my mind.
And it's like, if you don't know, you gotta realize that it's time to find out. You know what I mean?
Open your eyes up.
Yeah.
Time to learn something.
Yeah.
Real talk, bro. And I think something else that really blew my mind about her episode was how she was talking about energy, but it related back, like you said, you was able to relate it back to the Bible, and you was seeing how the scriptures was making sense in other words.
Yes.
And I think I found that, pretty interesting. Like you said, we don't even promote super religious on here or nothing like that, but it's the idea how the same aspect applies. No matter, you just put different words to it, but it's still the same law.
It's the same universal law.
Same universal law, and I really love that idea. Like that really blew my mind.
Because again, like I said in the episode, it was like she came up, like me and her had a lot of the same conclusions, especially from me being up in Reno. But since I've gotten saved, I'm reading through the Bible, and like as I'm reading the scriptures, it'll kind of confirm the law that I kind of found myself before I met that, but now it even makes even more sense for me.
Right, it makes more sense now. It's starting to connect the dots.
Concrete. It's concrete on the page, and then it's just that visualization, you're able to connect those dots like you said.
Exactly. You connect the dots, and then, that led to, my last big topic about her was the main thing she said, which led to the parents, was I can give you the advice or tell you this stuff, but don't take it for myself. Don't take my word as law. Like, make it your own law. Make it work for you. I can give you the advice, but if you don't want to run with it, that's your choice. But it's like you have to make it make sense for you.
Right.
And that was one thing she really pointed out. Like, she pointed out to the point of, if you want to believe in God, you want to believe in Buddha, you want to believe in Allah, whatever it is. If it works for you, then run with it. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to fight or let anybody break what you believe. You know, run with what works for you. You know, and I really enjoy that. I really enjoy that.
Because either way, like, it shouldn't be a pressurized thing to begin with. Like, it should just be with what you want and without the outside influence.
What makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Yes. No, that's real because, so in the book, The Alchemist, one of my favorite scenes was, well, not one of my favorite scenes, of course I'm reading it, but there was a part where they're about to take the journey to the desert, and then the head guy, the master, he's like, okay, I don't know what God you pray to, but pray to your God that we make it through this desert. And pray to your God that you can follow all my instructions to make it through. I'm playing Allah, pray who you want to pray to. And it was like...
That's deep.
Deep, you know what I'm saying? He's like, I don't care who you pray to, just pray. Because I need all prayers right now. We need all this vibrational energy going up to make us safe during this journey, you know?
Because something's listening, something's going to respond to it.
Something's going to respond, and if all of us are saying the same thing, even though it's different groups, the vibrational energy is going to connect at some point and make it happen. So, yeah, I really love that, man. And then her quote from that episode was, don't look for the way, you are the way. You know, and I found that deep because, you know, we was watching Dragon Ball Z just now. And, you know, I always find it deep how the solution to what's going to help them beat this boss is inside them, you know, and they always have to dig down deep inside them to get to the next level. Yeah. And then that's how they beat whatever villain they're facing at the right now. You know?
For real. And everybody's way is different. The way, the way Vegeta got to Super Saiyan is way different than from what Goku had to do to get to Super Saiyan, which is different from how Gohan got to Super Saiyan 2, Trunks, everybody. And shoot, Piccolo had the fuse, but also he had to train. Krillin just, all he had was training. You know, it's just whatever you need to do, and only you know, and you're the only one that can find out.
Right.
So it's just taking that step forward, taking that action to learn whatever you need to do to find out what energy's inside of you to bring it out and find your way to move throughout this earth.
No, and that's real. That's real. Because like you said, what works for you may not work for me. You know, Krillin can't go Super Saiyan, but you know what? He finds his way to make it through the fight. You know what I'm saying? It works for him. And shoot, as long as you survive at the end of the day and say y'all won as a team, shoot, we won.
That's a win, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. A win is a win, you know? So, no, I love it, bro, man. You really have to find your way, what works for you to get you to that next level.
Right.
You know, everybody's route not going to be the same. You can look at him and, you know, get ideas from his route, but you got to find your own way. You know, and I really do admire that, man. That was really deep, man. That was really deep, bro.
Beautiful episode. Beautiful everything.
Yes, please. Yes, and you know, every single last one of these episodes, if you haven't listened to them yet, please go back, check them out, listen to them, because every one of them is filled with knowledge. They all have their own gems in their own special way, you know. And you gotta just fill it out to appreciate it. You know? You gotta really fill it out to appreciate it and see what's gonna help you, you know. And at the same time, like I said, if it's gonna help somebody else, share the episode with somebody else.
Please.
You know, share the episode with anybody else. It's really helping people. It's really helping people, and I was hoping you guys out. And bro, you know, any last words for him right now, bro?
I just gotta say, like, don't lose your flame at this point. Keep pressing.
Right.
Find out what needs to be done in order to make whatever you want to make work. Be in the moment, but also remember to take a step back. But do your best. Right. Work with people, communicate, connect. I mean, that's the gist that I've been getting from the last 10 episodes for sure.
Right.
Like, kind of all in one thing, in one amalgamation, but, you know, hey, don't let the fire go out. Yeah. Don't get distracted.
No, I feel it, man. Yeah, just keep swimming, bro.
Yeah,
just keep swimming, man. I feel my, you know, from the last 5 episodes, I guess my thing is, you know, know your value. You know, know who you are and appreciate who you are and what you got. You know, use your weapons that you came with, you know.
Right.
everybody in the episode that all had something to talk about that was different from every other person, but you know, everyone their tools are working out for them.
Right.
So it's like use what tools you have, and you know your value, man. Know when you're good.
Yeah.
You know you good. You know you worth more than this. don't settle for that.
Yeah.
Don't settle. Just upgrade. Keep upgrading.
Right.
Yes, sir. I love it, man. So yeah, bro, man. I just want to appreciate you for another great episode. You know, another recap, part 2.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. We're gonna have another episode, another 5 for you guys for season 1, and then we're gonna switch it up to season 2. We're gonna bring a little more fire, a little more. We're gonna shake the ground a little more, man. I'm trying to shake the ground up a little more, man.
Y'all are ready for it?
Yeah, I feel we don't have enough haters yet, bro. So yeah, I'm sorry shaking the ground and making some people upset or something.
Don't forget to email. You may be included.
Yes. Please email jkspodcast702@gmail.com. Yes, send that right over. And remember, you know, have a great day. Have a wonderful afternoon. Have an amazing evening. And remember, just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. 1-3.